Good afternoon, I'm Malcolm Jordan and this is your Midday News Fix for Wednesday the 5th of November. Unemployment's officially risen again. Latest Stats NZ data shows the rate reached 5.3% in the 3 months to September. That's up from 5.2% in the 3 months to June. Unemployment has been steadily rising from a low of 3.2% in late 2021. Meanwhile, the Reserve Bank says the economy isn't out of the woods, but our banks remain well placed to weather what comes next. The central bank's just released its latest financial stability report. Business reporter Michael Sergel runs through the key points.
New Zealand remains exposed to international uncertainty, fragmented global trade, surging tech stocks, and Western governments taking on more debt. Our retail and hospo sectors are also still doing it tough. However, loan defaults remain well below the global financial crisis, interest rates are falling, and dairy and meat prices remain relatively high.
The government's putting another $62 million towards mental health crisis response. Mental Health Minister Matt Ducey has announced the funding at the Mental Health and Wellbeing Commission conference in Auckland. Jordan Dunn is there.
Ducey says the funding will cover 40 additional frontline clinical staff for crisis assessment and treatment across the country. There will also be an extra 20 beds for acute alternative services, and 3 more EDs will receive peer support workers. Ducey says the number of crisis recovery cafes across the country will also increase from 6 to 8.
Concerns millions of dollars of New Zealand savings go to governments implicated in human rights violations. Motu Research has released a paper revealing more than $500 million in KiwiSaver and other investments was last year lent to countries with high alert labels for human rights violations. Bank-run funds accounted for 3/4 of that lending. Paper author Anne-Marie Brooks says the money's going to countries ranking in the bottom 10% for human rights.
We identified 4 of these worst performing countries that KiwiSaver funds are currently investing in, and are China, Israel, Qatar and Saudi Arabia.
Fears a ban on homelessness in city centres will simply move the problem elsewhere. During question time in Parliament yesterday, Labour suggested the government's planning to ban homeless people from city centres. Auckland's Central City Business Association is backing the move, but Christchurch Central City Business Association Chair Annabelle Turley says her area already has an approach that works.
The businesses in the Central City pay for a safety team, and our safety team do a really good job of connecting those people who are homeless with the right agencies.
Parliament's passed the first reading for a treaty settlement bill for Hauraki iwi, Ngāti Rahiri Tumutumu. It includes a Crown apology, the return of 17 sites of cultural significance and financial redress. To sport, All Blacks midfielder Jordie Barrett has been ruled out of the team's Grand Slam rugby tour due to a high ankle injury and minor knee strain in the win over Ireland in Chicago. A statement win for the previously struggling Liverpool in football's Champions League. They've peppered the Real Madrid goal throughout a 1-0 home victory at Anfield. And England Test cricket captain Ben Stokes has extended his central contract by a year through to the end of the next home Ashes series in 2027, aligning his deal with that of coach Brendan McCullum. I'm Malcolm Jordan. That's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at 5 p.m. from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.